Hello, my friends. Okay, my third update. So I'm starting to get really, really curious about how much these are actually affecting me, right? I'm not trying to manifest anything into my life, but now I'm getting curious. I'm like, huh. So I asked my best friend the other day. She's 41 years old, which is about 5 years older than me. I asked her, I'm like, so like, what do you do in the morning? Did I ask her? What do you do? No, I asked her, do you wake up with pain in the morning? And without skipping a beat, she goes, no. And I was like, what? Like, I just assumed everybody woke up with pain in the morning. I just thought that was a thing. Like, you get until you're like your 30s, you're not 29 anymore. Now you're 30, boom, that means pain. And Drew, my partner that we're consciously uncoupling now, but we're best friends. He and we've been living together for 2.5 years. His body was always in pain. Makes sense because he is a professional fighter. Okay, he owns 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu in Marietta, so there's a lot of wear and tear on his body and on his joints, which in a sense he chooses, right? Like that's his career. He knows that that's like the give and take. But so for me, like he always had pain too. So I just lived in this weird little bubble of like, yeah, we all just have pain. That just happens like at the age of 30. Now I'm like questioning others. I'm like, so I asked my best friend that. So now I'm asking my other friends, I'm like, hey, when you walk up the stairs, like just like the stairs in a home, not like some crazy flight of stairs, but just walk up the stairs, are you like totally winded and you like have to like, like rest for a second, like kind of gather, like wait until your like dizziness kind of settles and then you can like make the way to the across the hallway and into the room? People are like, no, like, no. And I'm like, oh. So then I ask another friend, I'm like, do you have to like strategically plan out when you go to the gym to like make sure you don't have anything else going on that day? Because what I was doing was like I had to strategically plan when I could do yoga and when I could go to the gym because I would be wiped. Like I'm talking fucking wiped out, okay? And like, yeah, I've got some like definition, but I don't have any like crazy workout routine that should leave me like dead for the day. All my friends are like, no, I exercise because it gives me more energy. And I'm like, oh, I exercise so like I'm not in pain, not for more energy. In fact, it wipes me out. So I'm like finding out all this stuff, like the life I was living, which I assumed was like a normal life and everybody went through it. And granted, it was so much better because I used to have the fibromyalgia and IBS and all that stuff. So the pain was still significantly lower that I just accepted my pain, my way of living as like the norm. And now I'm like, my consciousness is like bing, 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 bing. Like it's waking up to so much stuff. Like I was at my women's meeting on Monday and I'm sitting next to a friend of mine who's probably in her mid 60s. And I noticed she had heels on, like high heels. And I thought to myself, this woman works probably 40 hours a week. And she's always in nice clothes. I see her like often at meetings and she's always wearing heels. There's no way in fucking God's green earth I could ever wear heels for an entire day to go to work. That's crazy. No way. No way. My feet hurt after like 2 hours of being on them. Like I go to Disneyland or like something with my family, I have to make sure I took my CBD. I have to put CBD on my feet, like the oil. You usually have Tylenol or Advil like on hand. So now it's like coming into my reality of how much I am managing this saline toxicity. Like, what? That's crazy. 67 and she can be in heels when she goes to work. I'm 36. That's 30 years younger. Okay, 31. 30 years. I was literally sitting next to her thinking, if I can't do that now, I'm not going to age very well. Like I need to get these bags out of me ASAP, regardless of what I look like and regardless of how hard it is. Because this is nuts. This is like bing, 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 bing. Like so I'm just like, I'm waking up to like so much stuff. Like, whoa, like you guys can go on car trips and like sit in the car for like hours at a time and you don't need to like do yoga poses like, while you're in the car, like stop and stretch. And people are like, no. Because I don't have like sick friends. I have friends who, like treat their body. Like it's like really prevalent in my life. It's so crazy. It's just so crazy. I cannot, like people don't nap during the day. Like you have to take a nap to like rejuvenate yourself so that you can carry on for the rest of the day. People are like, yeah, no, it's not a thing. Wow. I never asked these questions before because I just assumed, I never assume, okay? When I met Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., I remember him saying that to me. The best one out of the 4 agreements, don't assume. Not like there is a best one, but never assume, never assume, never assume. And this is why I should have asked these questions years ago, because then I could have gotten them out years ago. Oh, all right, that's my rant. So, so today I was feeling kind of emotional, and I might cry, but I realized that this is a big loss, regardless if it's good for my health or not, right? It doesn't matter. It's like when I gave up alcohol, that was really good for my life, but obviously it was really, really, really difficult. You know what I mean? People who want to give up food, people who want to give up sugar, relationships, addictions, even though it's good for you, it's really hard. It doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be easy. And, giving up and saying goodbye to my breasts is going to be hard. There's going to be a grieving process to that. I was on my computer and then I just kind of looked down and grabbed them and I'm like, oh, I gotta say bye. Makes it easier because part of me is like, get out of me. And then the other part of me is like, oh wait, you've been with me since I was 17. There's definitely an identity wrapped up in this. Although the identity is not one that I want anymore, doesn't mean I'm not going to have an effect, emotionally. And it had an effect today where I had to cry. I just took 10 minutes and just kind of allowed that emotion to run through me. And I'm going to talk a lot about emotional regulation and co-regulation and how to deal with trauma throughout the whole course of my show. Is that what you say? Is that a thing? I don't know. But I really want to talk about healing and how to deal. What I tell my students anytime they're trying to heal from trauma or they're going through something hard is we feel so that we can deal, so that we can heal. Okay, most people just walk around life just trying to deal, just literally just trying to, oh, I'm going to deal with it. Oh, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to deal with it. Well, you're not feeling it. So right there, you're not dealing with it. And if you don't feel it, you certainly can't heal from it. That doesn't work like that. You have to feel. The only reason we have emotion is to feel the emotion because it's just the communication pattern. It's like when a baby cries. When your baby cries, you go through what it could be. Oh, is the baby hungry? Is the baby tired? Is the baby wet? Right? Do I need to change the baby? You don't freak out because the baby's crying. You understand that that's how the baby is communicating. Well, that's what our bodies do, essentially, right? When you feel a feeling, when you feel an emotion, which we call a feeling, okay? What you're feeling is the emotion. We call it a feeling because you're feeling it. So when you feel the emotion, you go, oh, what emotion is this? Oh, that's this. We run through the emotion and then you have to feel it. It doesn't mean you can just feel it and be like, yep, that's anxiety. Okay, let me go to the gym. Okay, let me take a Xanax. Okay, let me drink. Okay, let me call that guy. Okay, let me do this. No, that's not dealing with it. That's not feeling it. That's certainly not going to help you heal from it. You have to feel it. You have to honor it. You have to say, okay, body, thank you. I hear you. I'm listening. Same way when the baby's crying, right? Your body's trying to communicate. Your body's yelling at you. Your body's communicating. It's saying, hey, help me. And so you have to say, oh, you don't have to do anything. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. What I do is I listen, I honor it. It's very uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to say when my anxiety comes, I'm so excited about that. Hell no. But when it comes, I recognize it real easy. And I'm like, oh, that's fear. Oh, that's financial fear. Oh, that's anger. Oh, that's sadness. Oh, that's grief. Oh, that's shame. And I get to feel it and I get to just put my hand on my heart. That's what I do. And I'm like, I try to identify the emotion and then I ask, okay, what wound is this? What needs more healing, right? Clearly, me going through the loss of my breasts, my self-image without them needs more healing, right? And so I'm sending that part of me love, so much love, it's okay. You're gonna be okay. It's gonna be an adjustment. We're gonna have to pivot. It's gonna be a transition. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn. If I have to learn to love myself all over again, well, then I'll learn. It's as simple as that. So that's the update for today. I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. I have to get used to saying this, but please subscribe to this channel and then send this to your friends. I'm really, really, really dedicated on helping women. I don't know if I want to start a 501c3 or a foundation or something to help women get these things out, because insurance doesn't want to take them out. Of course, insurance doesn't want to take them out. Think about this, you guys. If they're making you sick and then you're on a whole bunch of drugs from big pharma, right? Well, that's like such a great way that everybody gets paid. There's no money in healthy people in this country, okay? They don't want you healthy. That's like a for sure, hands down. They don't want you healthy at all. So, and then by the time you at least for me, by the time I realized it was the implants, it was like, well, I don't have like enough savings in my savings to take out for this. I wasn't prepared for this. Nobody said, you know what I mean? Like, hey, these things are going to make you sick and you're going to have to take them out ASAP. So I want to start something to help other women. That's why it means so much to me, you know, getting mine out as fast as I can. And depending on the GoFundMe is really how quickly I can get them out. But then once they're out and I've got that energy, oh man, it's on. It is on. I'm going to start a Facebook page for women. I'll put that in my next video. Whenever I get it up, I'll definitely let you guys know. And I don't want you guys to like try to convince other women that their implants are making them sick. This is something that is so unique to each individual woman, and it's so sensitive. I did not believe that it was my implants for years. I was like, no, absolutely not. Those women just like being like sick, or they like drama, or they just want attention. Like I really like projected my own fears because I did not want to look at the ugly, harsh truth that yes, the plastic in me was affecting me. So it's not our job to go and convince other women, okay? In fact, it's just going to turn them away and make them very scared. And then they won't trust. And we don't want that because we want to help them. So we want to hold space for them. Only send this to people that are interested. Only other women who are like, mine might be making me sick too. Then send it, you know, but don't go around trying to convince others at all. Just allow the, you know, nature and the universe to just have its flow, and the right women will show up when they're supposed to show up. That's really important. So definitely subscribe. Send this to anybody who you think could benefit. And I'll add my GoFundMe stuff in the links as soon as I figure out how to do that because I'm learning this whole YouTube thing. So I love you all. Thank you. And I'll be back tomorrow with another update. Bye.